Good day, students. The poem we are going to do today is named The Last Ride Together. This poem is also written by Robert Browning, and the setting of the poem is the poet is departing with his beloved. Poet or the persona is meeting his beloved for the last time, and he has asked her for a favor, and the favor is that she should accept his request for a last ride together. So the word last, so the adjective last here suggests that this couple was used to having rides together. So let us do the poem. I said then, dearest, since it is so, since now at length my fate I know, since nothing all my love avails, since all my life seemed meant for fails, since this was written and needs must be, my whole heart rises up to bless your name in pride and thankfulness. So let me tell you that this poem is also a dramatic monologue, and there are certain features of dramatic monologue, and one of the features is sudden start. So you must have noticed the sudden start of the poem. I said then, dearest, since it is so, as if the conversation was on before the poem started. So he says, I said. Who is saying? The persona is saying. The lover is saying to his beloved, then, dearest, since it is so, since now at length my fate I know. So, in a very reclined and sad manner, he says, since it is so, means these are the situations and we have to adjust. And what is the situation? That they have to depart. So, since now at length my fate I know, he says that I know my fate, that you are not mine. Since nothing all my love avails. So, by these lines, we come to know the aching heart, the pains of love throbbing in the heart of the speaker. So he says, since nothing all my love avails. It means that he has given all his love to his beloved, but it came to nothing. But the result was zero. Since all my life seemed meant for fails. All my life seemed meant for, means his life seemed to be meant for his beloved, getting the love of his beloved, but this mission has failed. Now there are no chances that he will receive the love of his beloved, since this was written and needs must be. And he recedes to have faith in fate. So he says, this was written. Written where? Written in his fate, destiny. So, since this was written and needs must be, whatever is written in our destiny, it happens. So, he says that it was written in my destiny that we must depart. So, it is happening. My whole heart rises up to bless your name in pride and thankfulness. Now, you must have noticed that there is no complaint against his beloved. On the contrary, he says that my whole heart rises up in thankfulness, in giving you thanks and blessings. He is blessing his beloved, and that is the sign of true love, that despite their parting, he is giving blessings to his departing beloved, and he is giving thanks to her. Take back the hope you gave. I claim only a memory of the same. Now he says that I have lost all hope of getting or receiving your love. So he says, take back the hope you gave. Now I don't claim the hope. I just claim the memory of the hope I claimed. Only a memory of the same. And this beside, if you will not blame, your leave for one more last ride with me. And he says, this besides, means I just claim the memory of the hope you gave, And one more wish I claim. And what is that wish? He says, your leave. Your leave means your permission to have one more last ride with me. So he wants that before finally parting, his beloved should have a last ride together with him. And notice this expression, if you will not blame, means he is not forcing anything on her. He is just asking, he is just requesting. So in the first stanza, the poet is in a sad mood and he is departing from his beloved. So he says, and there is no tone of complaint. He says that it was written in my fate. And though I loved you a lot, but that love came to nothing. And he says, since everything my life meant for has failed. He says, so because this is final, that we must depart. So he says, last wish is that you must have a last ride together with me. And he gives her blessings and a lot of thanks. The second stanza, my mistress bent that brow of hers, those deep dark eyes where pride demurs, when pity would be softening through, fixed with me a breathing while or two, with life or death in the balance right. The blood replenished me again. My last thought was at least not vain. I and my mistress side by side shall be together. Breathe and ride. So, one day more I am deified. Who knows but the world may end tonight? Now he says, when he requested her to think upon the idea of having the last ride together, my mistress bent that brow of hers. So bending her brow means that she was thinking about his last wish, whether to say yes or whether to say no, whether to accept or whether to refuse. Those deep dark eyes where pride demurs, when pity would be softening through. So he says, the speaker was looking at her deep dark eyes. Why he was looking at those deep dark eyes? He was under the pressure whether she will refuse or whether she will accept his plea. So those deep dark eyes where pride demurs, when pity would be softening through. So her deep dark eyes are the abode of pride. But what should have replaced pride? There should have been pity in those eyes for the lover, for the speaker. But sadly, there is no pity in the eyes of the beloved, but there is a lot of pride. The blushed fixed me a breathing while or two, with life and death in the balance. Now he says he was looking at the mistress's eyes and she was also looking in his eyes, and just after a while, just after a short duration between which a person breathes once or twice, she said yes. So even those moments, see how little time we take when we breathe once or twice. But that little time was also a long time for the poet, for the speaker who was waiting for an answer. So he says, a breathing while, and his life and death depended on her acceptance or her refusal. So with life or death in the balance, whether she will say yes or whether she will say no. Right. Right means yes. The blood replenished me again. It means the poet was so very tensed, as if all his veins filled with blood were blocked. And when the beloved accepted his request, when she said yes, he said that the blood started to flow in his veins once again. My last thought was at least not vain. So he is happy. Vain means useless. At least my last thought, my last request was not useless. So he says, at least she has accepted my last request to have a last ride together. So one day more, I'm deified. Deified means I have become a god. God, because he is happy that at least before finally parting, they will be together for a little time. Who knows, but the world may end tonight. See his positivity. He says that I wanted to live with my beloved forever, and today she will have a ride with me, and who knows that today will be the last day of the universe, and then I will think that my beloved was with me whole life.